for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Miami. This is season, I want to say 7, or is it 6? I think it's season 6. Season 6, episode 18, part 1 of the reunion. So let's get into it. Still getting over my cold, so this is probably as loud as I'm going to talk. So bear with me. But like I said, let's get into it. So before we get into it, we're going to get a little spicy, and it's real short and sweet and to the point. So Marcus made some comments that we're going to talk about in this part 1 as it pertains to the ladies, pretty much saying these ladies wouldn't be good enough to even, I guess he was like clean, like wash his dishes in his house. So Julia didn't take too kindly to that, and this is what she had to say. I'm not going to read the article, but I'm going to read the excerpt from the article. It will definitely be in the description bar below if you would like to read it for yourself. But she said this. She said, "Since leaving a communist country without a dollar to my name, I've worked hard for everything I have ever achieved. I will not be neither belittled nor degraded by a nepo baby who is using our platform to leverage a career for himself." I mean, is she lying? No. So, also, I think Gertie said something as well. I'll put the link below about, I think it was like to the effect of that, like Marcus owes them an apology for the comments that he made. And he do. But let's get into this review. Y'all, so the episode opens up. We're in New York. All the girls are arriving to the studio so they can get ready. If you want to know my thoughts on their outfits, I did the drama video for it. To me, Larsa and Adriana had on the same dress, but they looked the best to me. They looked the best to me. And I thought Julia looked the worst. I think, like I said in my video, she was trying to go for a Alebrije vibes, which is a Mexican, like mystical, like animal. If you've seen Coco, um, what Tate turns into, and then what his I think it's like his great grandmother has, the leopard looking thing with the wings and the beautiful different colors. I think that's what they was trying to go for. Okay, if that's not what that's what I would have lied and said I was trying to go for. But that's either here nor there. So everybody pulls up. Andy is checking on everyone. The episode actually opens up with that IG video of Andy being like, "Can y'all hear that? Because it's about to be a long night." And when we all saw, well, I know, I'll speak for myself. When I saw the video, I thought it was Alexia and Adriana arguing, because that's what normally happens. They'll be in the hallways at the reunions yelling at each other back and forth. But to find out that it was Larsa and Alexia, I was like, oh, I was really surprised. I was genuinely surprised. So Andy's going around checking on the girls, asking everybody how they feel. Are they ready for the reunion? Then he gets to Larsa's dressing room and Marcus is with her. Why? Nobody else's husband. Well, I think Jody is there. Was Jody there? Who was Marcus talking to when they were in the? I think he was talking to Jody. But either way, why are you there, Marcus? You ain't got nothing else to do. Like, why did you have to come with Larsa to the reunion? And his comment, he made the comment about like, these ladies aren't even fit to wash the dishes at our house. After Andy was asking about how he felt about them constantly bringing up his dad. And honestly, like they said in this first part of the reunion, they really didn't speak about her father, like his father, that much. And like Julia said, if Larsa wasn't like always deflecting, it wouldn't be like a point of like us always asking, because you make it seem like something was up with y'all. But my thing about it is that I feel like he came in too hot. Like, I was like, why you got all this fever, Marcus? Because it would be different if the comment was made after they were being mean to Larsa, or Larsa got into it with somebody and then somebody threw Marcus in Larsa's face as a dig or something. But nobody had done that. Like, the reunion hadn't even started. So I was just like, why you got all this heat? Why we being spicy this early in the morning? Like it's 8:30. What you mad about? Who pissed in your Cheerios, sir? Because the comment just felt like it came out of nowhere, and it didn't make Marcus look good because it was a nasty comment, because it was like it'd be different if they were coming at you, but no one has came at Marcus. So it just felt weird and like out of place for him to say. And at the end of the day, like, nepotism and you being a wealthy kid is cute, bro, but that's still your daddy's money, and it don't look cute when you say it at 30 like 4, you know? Like it just don't hit. So they all get on stage. I love the stage. I thought it was a cool backdrop for it to be like Mexico is the theme. Um, they're sitting down, and before the reunion, they always do a shot of tequila. We know Nicole can't take it because she's pregnant, but Larsa, they wanted to try like Andy wanted to try Larsa's tequila, and I was just like, "See, Larsa, you not really about your business, because this could have been like a great marketing tool. Because again, everyone's drinking your drink again. We could see the bottle, because I think when they were in Mexico, they just had a prototype. But it's like, like you should have took this opportunity, but you didn't. Because she's like, it's coming, so I guess that means like they should be drinking it at the end of the season, because they always do a shot at the beginning and at the end. But they talk about the promise ring Marcus gave her. They also talk to Larsa about how she's selling that condo and looking for a house so her and Marcus can move in together, because she was like she doesn't really have like a lot of closet space. She has a lot of clothes, and Marcus has a lot of Jordans. So we need to find a home together. Then she says she's gonna stop talking about her sex life, which I'm happy for, because nobody believes Larsa. Like, no one believes that y'all, like, when you said you and Scotty was doing it 4 times a night. No. And then no one believed that you and Marcus was doing it 5 times a night. But then Andy, I guess, tried to help, because she was like, when I spoke to Marcus, Marcus says he releases 5 times a night with his hand. Because no, like, nobody, like, I don't even think sex fiends be doing it like that all the time. Like, even if they do it, it's not like it's enjoyable, because after a while it's not. Like what we do it. Like, what are we doing? So everybody was like, they didn't believe Larsa. Alexia chimes in and she was like, I'm glad you're gonna stop talking about it, because it's uncomfortable. Because I think viewers' comment was, how does your kids feel when you speak about it? And Alexia was like, it's probably uncomfortable for them. And then Larsa got in her feelings, and then Gertie chimes in and was like, no one believes you. That's why no one really believes you. So then Alexia kind of, not Alexia, Larsa kind of took offense to it. And then she was like, maybe y'all are just dry women. And everyone was like, girl, what? I thought it was crazy that she called them dry. I really did. The conversation about Larsa calling the ladies dry and all of that stuff. Lisa tries to stick up for Larsa, and then that's when Gertie calls Lisa. She says like, "Okay, mascot," or "Thank you, mascot," and I didn't understand why she has so much. Like, I get why she has fever for Lisa, but in this part one, it just felt like it came out of nowhere. And I also felt like for Gertie to call Lisa a mascot, I was like, you should call yourself that, because throughout this whole entire part one, anytime someone had anything to say against Larsa, you were like co-signing or chiming in or nodding your head or trying to add things to it. So if Lisa can do it for Larsa and be called the mascot, then you should be calling yourself that. That's just how I see it. So they then start talking about Marcus's welcome back party, and it was stupid. It was stupid. It was juvenile and it was childish. And like Kiki said, girl, he been only gone for 5 days. You're 50. What? And so then Larsa and Kiki started arguing, because Larsa didn't like the comments that Kiki was making in her confessionals, like, girl, you're 50, grow up. Or like, and then Kiki didn't like the fact that Larsa pretty much casted her aside once she got a man. And then they pan back to Marcus, and he's talking about, don't hate on our love. No one's hating on what you and that lady got, Marcus. Hush, please. Because who is hating on y'all? Like if like Marcus, let's be honest. Like you're a nepo baby who does not have any claim to fame for themselves other than your daddy's name and money. Your NBA career didn't work out. Larsa is a ex Kardashian friend who a lot of people thought were a whore because she was out here messing around with Future while she was still with Scotty. On top of she was messing with that one basketball player who was still with his wife. And now she's messing around with her ex-husband's rival. And like what's it called? Like Julia said, it would be crazy if I started to date Martina's rivals like daughter or son when they I guess they're of age now, but she was just like it's weird, it's awkward. So for Marcus to be like don't hate on our love, what else do you got going on, Marcus? Cuz why are you there again? Why are you there? I was getting sick of them panning that camera back to that man. So then Gertie chimes in and pretty much tells Larsa, like, girl, you're very like hard but sensitive. Like you are sensitive. Like we say one thing and your feelings are hurt. And you have this like checklist of things that like you hold on to just in case so you can like throw it out there or to prove a point. Pretty much saying that like Larsa has done that where she was like, well, I heard, like Larsa's the type of person to be like, well, I heard 3 years ago that you was sleeping around on your husband, but did I ever say anything about that? No, because we're friends. But she only will do that because she's mad. And that's what Gertie was trying to say. She then says, you know, you get upset about what we say in our confessionals, even though you say stuff too. And then that's when Kiki was like, she felt like she got thrown away. And then Andy was like, so what you're saying is you feel like she casted you aside once she got a man. And Kiki's like, yes. But one thing I noticed is that Andy does really like this cast because he's doing his job. When Andy likes a cast or is really invested in the drama that he sees in front of him, he will ask really good questions or he will try his best to mediate the situation. I see it all the time when he does the Married to Medicine reunions. He was really good at the OC reunion, and he was pretty good at the Beverly Hills reunion where he does try to ask really good questions or get to the point or the meat and potatoes of like what's going on. So he basically asked Kiki, like, did you feel casted aside? And she said yes in the beginning, but like not as much now because I guess her and Larsa actually spoke. Because that's the thing, Larsa actually called Kiki up to like go off on her about the way she was talking about her relationship in the confessional. And Larsa was just like, yeah, like if you're my friend, you're gonna be happy for me. And I was like, I don't think Kiki's not happy for Larsa. I just think she thinks it's messed up that once you got a man, you threw her to the wayside just to be with that man all the time. And it is kind of crazy that at the age of 50, you're acting like this is your first boyfriend, where all you want to do is be up under him. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. So then they asked Larsa about how does Michael Jordan feel about them being together, and that's when they brought up the whole Martina rivalry and the example if Julia dated Martina's rival's son, and then Gertie also chimed in and she was like, if you would just admit that it's awkward, we wouldn't be here, and then Larsa tries to act like that's all the ladies talk about, and that's a lie because nobody really brought up the Marcus and Larsa situation until the end of the season when Julia asked when they were at the tequila tasting, and then Adriana asked when that video of him where he pretty much was like, no, I'm not happy. So then Andy asks like who felt like Michael Jordan was joking, and not a lot of people said it. Even Marisol was like, I don't know the man to know if he was joking, so I don't know. But everybody else felt like he wasn't joking. And then I think he asked, does MJ watch the show? And she was like, yes, he does watch the show. And some of the girls was like, oh my God, he really watches the show. You know, Julia versus Marisol. And they bring up how Julia came in hot for Marisol at the beginning of the season when she accused Marisol of being the one that keeps the mess going in the group, not allowing Alexia to move forward with people. And they asked Marisol how she felt about it. And Marisol was like, I was taken aback because me and Julia have, like, we don't really have interactions like that for her to, like, feel that way towards me. So But then Marisol was like, but then I was like, well, she friends with Adriana, and Adriana's always coming at me and always has something to say. So of course that's how she feels. Well, Adriana, for some reason, decides to get up and she has like a letter. And I said, look, Adriana, you are becoming a one trick pony. The fact that in this part one, we got both your poem and the cyberbullying thing, I was like, this is stupid. I didn't laugh the first time Adriana did her letter. It might be because I'm biased because I like Marisol and I think Adriana is desperate and does too much. But I know a lot of other people thought that was hilarious about the liver letter. But I feel like you can't make lightning like isn't it like lightning doesn't strike in the same place? Is that how it go? you know, but you can't make it happen again, So I was like, her getting up with this letter. So basically, she was trying to say that Marisol, like a fan reached out to her in her IG DMs saying that Marisol pretty much put them up to bullying her. And I said, girl, what? Girl, what? Like, and everyone was like, what? And even Julia didn't look pleased or impressed. She just kind of was like, really, Adriana? And so Marisol, and I agree with Marisol, why would I be that stupid if I was gonna like get people to bully you to like message some random person online to do it? And I was looking at Adriana like she was crazy because I'm just like, if you didn't have concrete proof, I like actual like, and when I mean concrete proof, like them sending you screenshots of their interactions with Marisol and her telling them to bully you, or like a cash app if she was paying them, because it looked kind of crazy that you just have some random fan, and we're not gonna act like fans aren't messy and not like extra and wouldn't do something like that. I was just like, this is wild. This is wild to me, wild. So they then end up being like, well, Julia, why did you believe that Marisol is the one that keeps the mess going? She's the one that stirs the pot and all of this stuff. And she was like, well, she was the one that said she trusted Nicole the least. And that was season 4 when they all first came back. And that started to kind of cause like issues in the group. Then she brings up when Larsa at Adriana's music video was like, my friend said they saw you kissing somebody, some man at a hotel. And Julia said, well, I asked Larsa who told you that, and Larsa was like, I never said Marisol told me that. But because I think Julia said, well, I said, did Marisol tell you that? And Larsa never denied it. She just kept saying a friend told me. And Larsa was like, because that was the truth, like a friend actually did tell me that, because they were at the restaurant with you and the guy. So then they bring up the whole private detective thing when they were like, I think, were they in Mexico? No, they weren't in Mexico. They were in Palm Beach when Julia was like, well, I've heard that you have a private detective. And Marisol was like, what? And I also agree. I think Marisol did a good job defending herself, because I would have said the same thing. If I really had a private detective on y'all, wouldn't I be like spraying y'all with y'all own tea, like more juicy, meaty tea? Like all I repeat is rumors. So what we talking about? So then they said, well, Julia, it seems like you took up the pot stirring mantle, and with the whole thing with Lisa, and they flash back to when they were in Mexico at the club, and she was telling Lisa how everybody was pretty much tired of hearing about her and her husband, well, her not her husband, but her divorce with Lenny. And then Julia says, no, I'm a BS buster. I said, no, girl, you're just a pot stirrer. You are truly a pot stirrer, Julia. You're not a BS buster. So then Nicole and Marisol get into it because Nicole ends up saying, well, Julia does tell the truth, even though she's stirring the pot. Marisol just hears rumors and acts like they are fact. And I like Marisol. And y'all know me and Nicole, we don't really see eye to eye. But she had a point there. Marisol will definitely bring a rumor to the group without any like proof and act like it's fact. And they show the flashback, I think that was last season, where they were at the lawyer dinner, no, not dinner, the lawyer meetup, and like, she had her phone saying that like this is so what somebody sent me, but she never fact checked it. But then they end up ending the conversation where Andy asks, "Are you and Julia cool now?" And Marisol and Julia say, "Yeah, we're in a different place. We're in a better place because they now like see each other pretty much. They have a better understanding of who each other are." We finally get on Alexia's segment, and pretty much we found out Frankie is doing really well. That's great to hear. We also find out that Peter is a standby. I don't know if that means he's like he could be a guardian if something were to ever happen to Alexia. Who knows? But she legally got it done. We start talking about Todd and why he hasn't really been around. And pretty much the main reason why Todd didn't want to come to the New Horizons party at the beginning of the season is he was embarrassed about that 9-minute cringy video apology that he sent to Anthony over the internet. It was embarrassing, and he didn't want to talk about it. Alexi also says he wasn't comfortable with all those people in his house because he still kind of felt some type of way, mainly about Adriana and the comments she made about their family, that he didn't want to be around her. Then Alexia and Adriana start getting into it because Alexia ends up calling Adriana the B word because she's like, because Adriana kept saying, it's our jobs. We're supposed to hang, be around. Everyone's supposed to be invited. And Alexia's like, yes, it's our jobs, but it's not our jobs to be bitches. Like, and I was like, well, some might disagree, Alexia, but I got where she was coming from. Then Alexia and Adriana start to argue back and forth because Alexia gets really amped and she pretty much says Adriana lied. Adriana, like when we left after the reunion rap last season, we were good. Like there was no issues, we had no beef. But then all of a sudden, she doing interviews and press tours saying that I made transphobic remarks and that like I was doing too much and I was doing overkill about the whole Frankie analogy situation, and that like she like it was basically saying Alexia knew what Adriana meant when she made the Frankie analogy. And Alexia got really pissed off because she was like, girl, we were fine. I don't expect nothing. And then she addressed her energy towards everybody. She was like, if we make it cool here and then you go outside and you start talking mess about me, then you're a liar and it's not cool. Because I don't expect none of y'all to be talking about me and my family once we say we good. Now, for Adriana, I don't need you accusing anybody of anything transphobic when your best friend is married to someone who's openly transphobic. Like, you have never clocked your best friend's wife for being openly transphobic. Okay? And we've seen there's documented proof of your castmate's wife on Twitter saying some egregious stuff about trans people. So if you're gonna hold people accountable, then you need to hold everybody accountable. Just don't be doing it half-assed so you can have a gotcha moment for people because that's messed up as well. So then they start arguing back and forth about who's a star, who's not a star. It got real stupid. It got real stupid. Real stupid. Because I think that's not when she brought out her poem. But they start arguing about who's a star, whatever. Then Nicole chimes in and she says, don't you think there's a double standard? Because Alexia can say whatever she wants about other people's families, but you better not dare say anything about hers. And Nicole had a point. Like, you said things the dad situation, I didn't really count that as anything because they were all discussing your father. But when she used your mom saying, that's why your mom says you're mean, that was messed up on Alexia's part. So then Marisol chimes in and she says, we all talk about each other and we're all sensitive. We all say we all say things about each other and we all can't take it. Because Nicole was saying you can dish it, but you can't take it. And then Marisol was like, we all talk, we all dish it. And most of the times, most of us can't take it. So then they start talking about Todd's financial situation, and we find out that Alexia and Todd do have like a joint account. And then that's when Alexia brings out her lease agreement because she was like, a lot of y'all have been trying to say because we had to move, we were having financial trouble. She was like, we signed a 2-year lease. I paid with a check to pay for my rent. She said pretty much the person who owns the building wanted to sell our unit and we didn't want to buy it, so we had to leave. Now, I can get with what Alexia is saying. I think the issue is that like the amount of time that was given for y'all to leave sounds like they was kicking you out. Like normally you don't sign a lease, they give you at least like 60 or 90 days, or more than that to move. It sounds like y'all didn't want to sign the lease and you also didn't have a backup plan of where y'all were moving to. And then on top of that, Todd wasn't helping you. So it made it feel like there was definitely something going on. While Alexia is trying to explain herself, Lisa is like, I got to pee. Like, I have to go or I'm going to pee on myself. So she ends up running off the stage. And then Nicole was like, well, if she can go, I'm going to go. And I mean, Nicole has a bigger reason because there's a human growing inside of her sitting on her bladder. So she's like, baby, I got to go. So she runs. So then Alexia gets annoyed by it, but then they ended up taking like a couple of minutes break, like I think like a 20-minute break or something like that, because then everybody got up to like go to the bathroom, refresh their makeup, get them something to drink, and then they all end up sitting back down. And Alexia is like, she don't even know where she was at because Andy was like, oh okay, Alexia, continue. She was like, I don't even know where I was. So then Adriana actually gets up and does a poem. I fast forward through the poem. I did not. I don't care. I don't care. She was talking about her explaining what a star is. Girl, I don't care. I don't care. So then Larsa and Alexia get into it because Larsa ends up saying, well, Alexia, I don't like how you be trying to say that you're the star, but also that we don't do things, like we don't work. That's demeaning. So then they start arguing back and forth because, you know, Alexia not going to be the one to back down. Larsa's not going to back down. Then Julia and Kiki start kissing. Julia, you need to stop kissing people and you're married. I don't care if Martina is okay with it. I just like, girl. And why are y'all so cool with just swapping spit? That's how you get herpes of the mouth and foot and mouth disease. Don't be kissing people. Stop it. like they just was kissing. I was like, why are you just randomly kissing your friends? And then they ended up they ended up stop kissing because Andy is like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? You got Marisol being like, that's hot. Girl, it's not. It's not. Somehow, some way, Gertie got into the argument between Larsa and Alexia, where I think Gertie was trying to have Alexia's back to prove a point because Larsa and they was going back and forth. And so Gertie ends up saying, you know, we all getting on Alexia, we're getting on Marisol, Julia, and Kiki and them saying that they're pot stirrers and all that stuff. But the biggest pot stirrer is Larsa. So Larsa's sitting there like, what are you talking about? And so Gertie ends up saying that Lisa and Larsa got into it at Alexia's wedding. They end up doing a flashback to one of the parties that they had this season where Lisa was like, why are you saying that I can't afford my lifestyle? And like that's what she was like, don't talk about my family, you know, when Lisa got really mad at Larsa. And then Gertie's like, Nicole explained the story. So pretty much what Nicole said is that it was Gertie, Alexia, and Nicole like having a conversation, and Nicole said Alexia told us that there was like a part, like, you know, Lisa and her got into it. Lisa and Larsa got into it, and Larsa had came to Alexia and told Alexia, if you don't have my back, I will go to the press about this. So then Larsa's like, I've never said that. So then Alexia was like, well, you kind of did pretty much say that. So what it boils down to is that Larsa ended up saying, if I was a bad person, I could go to the press, pretty much threatening like, girl, if I wasn't the person that I was, I could go to the press and air all of this out if you don't have my back. Saying that like if Lexia didn't have Larsa's back, Larsa was going to tell the press that there was people doing drugs at Alexia's party. And Alexia was like, I ain't see no drugs, so what we talking about? And what they do at my party is what they did at my party. Like, because they were at her wedding. She was like, if they was doing it at my wedding, they was doing it at my wedding. I didn't facilitate them with the substances, and I don't do it. So what are you threatening me for? And Alexia said, and I wasn't afraid of you. And then Nicole ends up saying she actually went and got a drug test just so, and I mean, but Nicole don't want to lose her good job, so I understand that. But Nicole says she went and got a drug test just in case Larsa said something, because she was like, y'all not about to play with my money. And so Larsa is sitting there like, what are you talking about? Like, I would never. And I'm like, Larsa, you would. You would. Like, we're not gonna act like you were not friends with the Kardashians and that the ringleader that's over there, aka Miss Kris Jenner, does not have her hands in the media. Like, she is too media savvy and that family is too media savvy. Like, that is their superpower, is knowing how to garner a large base and keep people engaged no matter what. No matter what. So you not gonna play these games like you don't know how to manipulate. Like, my bad, y'all. Thought I heard something knocking. But we're not gonna act like you don't know. Like, we're not gonna act like you don't know how to use the media, and it's not too far fetched to think that you wouldn't abuse that power or wouldn't use it to threaten people if you had the ability to. So Larsa is just like, I would never. That's not even me, girl. It might be. So they wrap, they break, so it's time for them to eat lunch. So we see Gertie and Kiki talking in their dressing room. And Gertie pretty much is like, I did that. I want to test to see if Alexia is telling the truth, because Alexia always says she tells the truth. She's always telling the truth. She told the truth because that's what she told us. Then we end up seeing what's her name, Marisol and Alexia talking about it, and Marisol was like, she really threatened you with that? And Alexia's like, yeah. And I'm like, and then that's when Alexia said, that's why I asked you, did you see anything in the bathroom at the wedding? Because Marisol was like, yeah, I stay in the bathroom going to pee. And she was like, I ain't see nothing. So I was just kind of like, so then you see Marcus, Larsa, and Lisa in their dressing room talking, and he talking about he riled up. And what are you gonna do about it, sir? Nothing. Shut up. Be on mute, Marcus. Cause what could you say? First of all, your daddy not happy that you around that lady. So you trying to throw that at people is not gonna hit because your daddy don't want you around that lady. You're just here. You're a hanger on. Calm down, sir. Just sit there, calm down your little girlfriend and be quiet. Talk about you riled up. And don't nobody give a damn. So then, and this is one thing I'll give Alexia. Alexia let the girls know she the queen, because she walked right into Larsa's dressing room with Marcus, made Marcus say hello to her, like acknowledging her presence, and then her and Larsa got to arguing, and they were both calling each other liars. Alexia was like, I don't lie, girl, you do, and it affects the group. So then they're arguing back and forth. Lisa is trying to get them to stop because they're like pointing fingers in each other's faces, and I'm just like, you know what, Alexia? You get on my nerves, but you did that. You did that. As much as we don't want to give Alexia credit because she gets on our nerves, Alexia proved in this part one, girl, she the queen, because she gladly walked up in there and was like, let's talk. Or Larsa started it, but she ain't back down from it. But that was the end of part one, was the Larsa and Alexia arguing in the dressing room. Hey y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and hop down in the comments below and give me your thoughts. Are you on Alexia's side? Are you on Larsa's side? Or do you see everybody's side? But I'm out, y'all.